You're listening to Living in Spain podcasts with David Wright.
Hi guys, my name's David Wright and welcome to another one of my podcast show. Today I'm going to give a bit of inspiration, I hope, and help and encouragement to people that are thinking about moving to Spain. A bit of information about how you can get started even before you come to Spain, what you need to know and where you can find some of these resources to get the right information that's valuable to you. Okay, so you're thinking of moving to Spain and you've got a couple of ideas about where you want to go. So what I recommend, guys, is number one thing, as always, if you're really serious about moving to Spain and you've got a sort of an idea whether it's next year or within the next 5 years, the first thing you should be doing is looking up learning Spanish, looking up links and looking up ways of learning Spanish, whether it's taking classes or online and through the apps. I would recommend these apps that you can download on your mobile phone or on your computer, which are all free. There's loads of them that are free. There's some paid ones as well, which are very good. But I recommend going through the free apps. Download several of them. You know, you might get bored with a couple and want to change them and things like that. Or you can possibly find a good one and you want to pay for the upgrade. Some of these upgrades on the apps are only a couple of quid, so they're well worth doing. But that's how I'd start to begin with. That's the number one thing you need to do. Then secondly, once you've got an area sorted out, you need to think about, say for example, you're going to be moving to Malaga, and then you want to connect with people living in that area. So search for groups, websites, podcast shows and videos all about Malaga. That's easy to do on your PC or even on your phone or mobile device. So search the area, look up these groups and these links and connect with them, join them, follow their videos, subscribe to their channels and things like that. Then once you've done that, start looking at people post and publicising on these sites. Once you see a person that you sort of click with, and that's doing the same sort of thing or living the same sort of lifestyle that you wish to live when you move to Spain, then send them a link, send them a request, a friend's request, and connect with them, ask them some questions. Most people that are living in Spain, if you can connect with them, they'll be more than happy to give you some tips and advice. And most people, when they're living here in Spain, they're very happy to promote the area they're living in. Obviously, they love it there, most of them do, and they are quite willing to tell you as much as they can about it. So this is the best way to learn about that area, a particular area that's related to you, and it's going to be much more beneficial to you learning about information on that area. So Facebook is a great way of getting information, but as I say, there's a lot of experts on Facebook, and some people like to genuinely give you their tips and advice, and they mean well, but some of them have really not been with the latest updates, and they're not fully aware of all the new rules and regulations. So you need to check these people out, see if they've been living in Spain for a few years, and see if they've they really know what they're talking about. And what I suggest is, again, make sure these people are targeted, make sure they're living in the area that you're going to, because there's quite a big difference between the rules and regulations up north of Spain and down in the south of Spain. So, there are variations on what you need, the paperwork and stuff like that, and the requirements. So you always check when you're following these people, are they actually living in the area you're thinking of moving to? Now, as regards to the information and the links that I give out personally, I can only speak for myself, but I get my information from 19 years of experience here that's living and working here in Spain. But I also get all the technical advice on requirements and rules and regulations here. If I'm not sure of them, if I'm not 100% sure of them, I ask my source, and that is Alejandro, who some of you have been following me do know him. He's the British Honorary Consulate here in Almeria and a very handy guy to know. He used to be my accountant, and he's got a family-run business here now with about 200 staff, and they help all different nationalities move into Spain with all their paperwork and all their technical needs that they must go through when they move to Spain. So that's where I get my information from. And it's all free information. I never charge for any of the information I give on any of my sites. It's all completely free, and there's links to most of my videos, my blog, my YouTube channels, things like that, to where you can get all the resources that I get, and even to access Alejandro personally, to ask him personally his advice and tips, and they get back to you if you need any information from them. So all this is totally free, and there's links, and it's underneath the guides on their Facebook page, and there's links in all my blogs, websites, and in the description box normally. So that's where I get my information from. But most of my information is through things that I've done here personally, been through personally, and my recommendations of how you can avoid some of the mistakes that I've made. That will save you time, money, and a lot of stress. So guys, I've run a couple of businesses here in Spain in the last 19 years. I've bought and sold several properties here, and I've rented properties. I've been through renting myself, and I've rented out to people here. And I've recently bought a plot of land and built my own house, as some of you have been following that. So I've got a pretty good idea of how things work here in Spain. Plus my Spanish wife is working for the local government here, and what I don't know, or Alejandra doesn't know, I get information from her and her bosses and things like that. So it's pretty good information, I feel, and that's how I've built up some of my groups and pages to over 10,000 members now. Sometimes I'm quite to the point, and I do put people off a little bit in I'm being a bit blunt, but I'm just trying to help people, because a lot of people are quite naive really when it's moving to Spain. It's not the end of the world, but it is a big move. It can be a very big financial decision to make, and some people are just not ready for that move when they come here, and these are normally the ones that fail. So I don't ever try and put anybody off. I want to help and encourage people, but sometimes I need to be a little bit strict and to the point and tell it like it is here. So guys, I've got 4 new books out on Amazon and Kindle now. You have to pay for them, but I try and make my information reach as many people as possible. That is why I've arranged with Amazon and Kindle to make them downloadable as digital downloads for free on some devices. Now, this all depends on the device and the account that you have with these companies, but there is an option there to download all of my books completely free. So I do advise you go and check them out. They're full of tips and advice, all 19 years of my experience in these 4 different books. So check it out on Amazon and Kindle and see what interests you. So guys, I hope some of this information or links to the information can help you. And this is really aimed at people that are thinking about moving to Spain in the next few months or next few years. Go and check out these sites that I've mentioned and try these tips and start writing down some lists. Lists are very important to keep you focused and targeted on the road that you're going down. So, you can make these lists, for example, how much money do we need, what's the best area, what are the prices out there, what solicitors are going to cost, things like that. So you can make a list of these and just put bullet points next to it and put in the figures as and when you gain this information. And these really are great reference points to look back on and give you an idea of what it's going to cost and what sort of process you're going to need to go through step by step to be able to move to Spain smoothly. So I hope that's helped, guys. Always leave a like or comment at the end of these. It really does help, and thanks for listening.
If you have enjoyed this podcast by David Wright, then you will love his new books. Out now on Amazon and Kindle, packed with money-saving tips and information on living and working in Spain. Just go to livinginspainbooks.com. David also has a popular blog for expats in Spain. Come and take a look now at BritishExpatsInSpain.com.